Thank you very much for joining our 35th community call. We host them on a monthly basis, as you know, and we share everything exciting about our progress with the Equilibrium so far. And today we have amazing things to share with you. Today will be a very interesting community call. We'll be sharing our roadmap with our LSD Hub, which is our flagship product that we're currently working on within the Polkadot ecosystem. And we're sure that this product will have certain positive impacts on liquid dot staking specifically. My name is Alex, just by way of introduction, as always. I'm the CEO and the founder with Equilibrium. I'm responsible for the overall product strategy and product development. And today I'm joined by my colleague Peter, as always, and Peter will give you a brief intro on himself.
Yes, thank you very much, Alex. Definitely an exciting community call we're having today, and lots of nice things to share from our side. As usual, my name is Peter. I am the product manager and the business analyst with the Equilibrium team. So happy to be here.
Amazing. I'm sharing my screen now with the slides. As usual, we have something to present. So basically, what we have here, let me walk you through our today's agenda. So first of all, we wanted to update you on the situation with our LSD Hub. So what's the progress on the development side, how the launch is going on, and we give you some live demonstration of that. We also have some updates on the Crowdloan side. As you know, there is a massive unlock of dots happened just yet from chain auctions that happened in the first batch almost 2 years ago. We also wanted to highlight specifically EQD use cases because EQD becomes a central point of our product line that we roll out in our parachain. And as it usually happens, we give you some updates in our development roadmap. So I'll start with the LSD portal. As you remember, last time we actually highlighted some specifics regarding our timelines and roadmap for the LSD Hub rollout. So as you know, we started prototyping and discussion with our partners in August, just to set the grounds for our further developments. Actually, again, just to remind you, we wanted to give liquid dot wrappers on Polkadot a good use and introduce interesting use cases to make these liquid dot wrappers actually useful for their holders. As you know, there's a bunch of staking opportunities within the Polkadot ecosystem. You can stake dots directly, like in the more sort of natural and native way. But there are some alternatives which could be more beneficial for dot stakers, right? So instead of just locking your dots and having this 28 days unlock period if you want to unstake, you might consider different alternatives. So you can, let's say, consider staking your dots via different liquid staking providers. So there's quite a few of them in the ecosystem. Equilibrium offers their also own EQ dot liquid staking mechanism, which also implements the kind of unlimited unstaking opportunity. So you don't need to stick to your unstaking dots for 28 days. You can do that instantly. Another option is stake dots through Ekala, which is another one of the biggest liquid staking providers within the ecosystem. Parallel offers also their S dots, and Bifrost is also among the biggest ones and the most reliable within the Polkadot ecosystem. So getting back to the roadmap. So the first milestone was UI UX prototyping, discussions, potential opportunities with the partners, and we have successfully completed that in August. And then we made our transition to the actual implementation. We've been building things, coding, doing the testnet releases, and discussions, with partners regarding integrations. thanks to our previously established XCM connections with multiple parachains out there, we were quite prepared for this launch, I would say, because like we have XCM channels open with almost all the major players within the ecosystem, and also the transfers on Liquid dot wrappers were established quite in advance, and we currently can just put these building blocks together and basically roll out a pretty catered and specific products for the Polkadot users. So what actually going on right now? So we're currently approaching the mainnet release, and this is the full functional LSD portal for Liquid Stake users, where you can put your dots into the work and give them a good use within our ecosystem. So respectively, you can turn your dots into Liquid Stake derivatives first, and then use these Liquid Stake derivatives for minting EQD stablecoins. So let me just briefly explain you what is the major use case for you, and what's the advantage you can take out of minting EQD stablecoins against your Liquid Stake derivatives. Because like you have like as a dot holders, you have your dot liquidity within your pockets, and when you actually stake dots in the regular way, you're kind of locking your liquidity without opportunity to access the value of this liquidity once it's locked within the staking mechanism. The same actually happens when you do the liquid staking, because to today there were not that many like prominent use cases for liquid stake derivatives on Polkadot. You could potentially swap your LSDs for actual dots or stablecoins on various sort of AMM DEXs out there. However, as we know, liquidity on Polkadot still kind of remains quite on quite low levels, and you basically don't have that much to do right now with the RIA dots. At least slippages could be quite unattractive. But I think the game completely changes when you can mint stable coins and get the instant access to dollar liquidity against your liquid stake derivatives. So basically what you can do, you can generate EQD stablecoin using your liquid dot wrappers as collateral, and these stablecoins could be used within the EQD ecosystem, which we have been building for quite a while. We will be highlighting use cases for EQD later in the course of our presentation. One of them is obviously like on-ramping, off-ramping, basically swapping EQD for different other stablecoins or other assets, and there's much more to do. But generally speaking, like, this is a prominent use case and definitely will help you to utilize your liquid stake derivative liquidity in the right way. So starting November, we're planning for third-party integrations, and we're kind of teasing today our airdrop campaigns with our partners. So we're currently working on something very special, which will actually change the complete thing within Equilibrium. Give another like new breath of life within the Equilibrium ecosystem. I'm sure that there will be super exciting news for the existing EQ token holders and other folks who are actually involved within the Equilibrium ecosystem. We will not be probably like touching on the very, very, very much specifics here right now, because like we still the plan is still work in progress, and but we're actually like we're getting prepared for that. So we already have quite a few arrangements within the Polkadot ecosystem with the most prominent players out there, and we are super confident that this will actually change everything, literally. Keep up with us. Apologies for like the announcement of the announcement, but it's usually how it works in crypto, as we know. So definitely you will be super excited about these new opportunities. So for now, we are getting close to the release of the LSD portal. We will give you the presentation. And I guess here I want to give it over to Peter, who will walk you through our LSD portal and give you some demo of what's going on. And maybe one remark: we're launching this under a new domain name, which will inherit like branding of Equilibrium, but will be effectively a completely different products, very much simplified, melted down to like the most important things for the DOT token holders and the holders of liquid stake derivatives. And here it is, MIT-EQ.finance. Peter, give it away.
Yeah, thank you very much, Alex. Yes, guys, so I wanted to show you today demo, and the main flow was actually to deposit some DOT and then wrap it to our own wrapper, which you may know is called EQ DOT, and then have EQD stables minted against that EQ DOT as a collateral. But unfortunately, our devs weren't be able to tackle the new XCM mechanics, and they've been working well over several sleepless nights to actually tackle this out-of-the-box cross-chain compatibility from Polkadot, which unfortunately doesn't work out of the box. But whatever, I can still show the interfaces without any actions, at least for you to have a feeling of what's coming and how it will look like. So let me share my screen. Yeah, just a second. So currently, this is like the placeholder for our new website, EQ Finance, and I would only give money to Equilibrium for this awesome animation there is. So like Fry from the Futurama, shut up and take my money. Yeah, but the final product itself will look like this. So this is the page. It's already, out on our test net, and I'm sitting there. So pretty much you have this main screen where you will be able to connect your wallet, hit the amount of DOT you want to deposit, and get some EQD. And you also have other choices of, like taking L dot, S dot, or V dot, all of the rest of the wrappers supported in the ecosystem. We're also working on T dot, which is the wrapper dot from Taiga protocol. Unfortunately, it's not here as of yet. And you'll also be able to go directly to Akala and Bifrost to get their wrappers through their mechanics, and then come back to the EQ Finance website and still put your wrapper into the Equilibrium and mint your EQD stablecoin. And yeah, you will have all of the statistics written here in this section, some simple explanation of how it works. All of these are placeholders right now. Of course, the APR figure is currently a bit higher, but in our mechanics, since we have a reserve ratio, it will be actually a fraction of those 18% currently Polkadot inflation pays. So like 80% of that, 16% or something like that. And yeah, also some FAQ, which we still have to come up with. So this is to give you a feel of this. We are almost there, so I would think that this week and the product will be out, and you will be able to enjoy it for yourself. So that's it for this kind of brief demo. So Alex, if you could share the presentation back on, so I could talk a bit about some other stuff we have there.
Sure. I'm doing it right now. Okay.
Can you please switch to the next slide? Yeah. So also probably as you have heard of, yesterday was a big unlock of the first batch of Crowdloan DOT, and our mechanics around 22K DOT for top 5 parachain. That includes Flower, Akala, Altar, and Parallel, for everyone except for Moonbeam. And those C dots, they have returned to our multisig, and currently we are preparing an in-app front end for the users to swap back their X dots and dots. We expect it to release either this Friday or the next Monday. Again, I apologize for delays because the XCM part was really tough on us, and we're still tackling that, the support of the new XCM v3 on our front end, and that relates to all of the assets, not just the dot wrappers, the Crowdloan dot wrappers you have here. But in terms of what we have prepared for our users, it will be like a seamless swap. So really exciting. You just get into the app, you see all of your balances and all of your debts and all of your places. You have your X dot or C dot stored within the equilibrium, and that means your master account, your borrower account, your insurance account, your lending position. You will be able to see all of the assets combined from there. And once you sign the transaction within the app, you will have your X dot and C dot converted automatically to dots at the 1-to-1 ratio. So if you held some X dot collateral, your collateral will be converted to dot. If you held some C dot debt, your C dot debt will convert to dot, and all of the other possibilities you could possibly imagine. So literally like one click, no need to go to Parallel and do unstaking and all of that crazy stuff, which actually limits you from taking out your tokens from a very specific protocol. So in terms of UX, yeah, we really prepared well this time, but yeah, as I said, we're a bit lagging behind in terms of when we will get this out to the public. So expect it to be out either this week or next week, and stay tuned for our updates. We'll definitely let you know the exact date. Of course, as you may know, also other unlocks are coming up, like the second batch and the third batch, and we're aware of that, and mechanics will look in a very similar way. So pretty much one click inside our app and you get your wrappers converted to dots. And also a quick reminder, we checked like the balances yesterday, and looks like still the most of the X dots are sitting inside Ginshiro right now. So if you want to do the swap, you need to hold your X dots inside Equilibrium. So we encourage you to go to our interfaces, our app, and straight to Equilibrium app, and follow the deposit flow for your dot wrappers to actually bridge them from Ginshiro to Equilibrium. Otherwise, you won't be able to swap those. Okay, that's all for the Crowdloan dots, and let's proceed. Alex, can you please move to the next slide? Yeah, to remind you of the EQD use cases, because once you will be minting EQDs for your dot wrappers, of course, the natural question is where you can use them. And currently you see what we have currently set up, and there's also lots of stuff up our sleeves, because we're, as you probably have heard from previous community calls, are in the process of discussing other integrations, like, for example, listing EQD on HydraDX and on Stella Swap. Those are the two main inside ecosystem pools we're aiming to. We're also in talks with Interlay to list EQD on their money market. This is like a tedious process and takes a lot of business development. And again, cross-chain composability unfortunately doesn't work out of the box inside the ecosystem. So takes a considerable amount of time, but please be patient here. We are doing our best to actually promote EQD as the main ecosystem stablecoin. And right now we have like EQD stable swap pool inside Equilibrium. So you can mint EQD against a collateral of more than 30 positions, 30 different tokens that we support inside Equilibrium, and place that EQD inside the stable swap pool. You can bridge in native USDT from Asset Hub, and also provide liquidity into that pool. And the more liquidity there is, the better it will be for everyone, ultimately, because people will be trading with low slippage, and other people will be enjoying some APRs on the fees they earn in the pool. So currently, the third-party pools we support is the RSwap pool with EQD against DOT and EQD against Aster tokens, and the BeamSwap pool, which is also a stable swap pool of EQD against USDT tokens. Also, other use cases are coming up because we're really looking forward to the integrations I've just mentioned and to the bank's off-ramp, because self-service loans is what at least I am looking at. I want to be able to off-ramp my EQDs to fiat and use it as a hard cash for my day-to-day spending activities. And then when I have spare cash to actually pay off my self-serviced collateralized loan, pretty much, that would be awesome. Yeah, so these are about the use cases, and hopefully everything is clear here. So let's proceed, Alex, and I'll talk about the dev updates. So yeah, as you have seen, a lot of work has been done on the UI and UX for LSD Hub. Hopefully you like the simplicity and the slickness of the interfaces. Once again, I apologize because I couldn't show you the working solution, XCMs, to actually use this interface to bridge in the wrappers. They're still in the process of setting up. This is what we've been busy with, like the most. Then, of course, the swap back of all those Crowdloan DOTs, and I've explained that, yeah, we are expecting to release the interface either by the end of this week or starting next week. And this will be super simple. One click, you get all of your wrappers converted to DOT automatically. We have actually done some preparations on the C-DOT side for this purpose already. We moved all of the C-DOTs to parallel, automatically converted them to DOT, moved DOT to our to the sovereign account of our parachain inside Polkadot. So all of the C-DOTs are already being readily available to be converted once we have interfaces up. Same goes for our own XDOT. They've returned back to our multisig, so we will transfer them to the sovereign account of our parachain, and all the dots will be sitting there, and the swap will happen once the user signs the transaction. So yeah, lots of runtime upgrades. Again, XCM fixes, XCM support, all of those new tokens and wrappers support, multi-location updates, and lots of different stuff. So pretty much lots of runtimes upgrades we've been through in past these months. As I already mentioned briefly, we have added support yet for another wrapper. This is a T-DOT wrapper from the Taiga protocol, and they also do the dot wrapper thing. And so currently we'll be supporting like 5 different wrappers, including our own, and the rest 4 are from Akala, Bifrost, Taiga, and Parallel. And last but not least, yeah, we have won a Crowdloan slot for Ginshira, and basically restarted our parachain. Everything is up and running there. And once again, if you haven't breached your XDOT from there, I encourage you to do so. And so you will be able to get your Crowdloan dots back. Yeah, so that's it for the updates. And I guess that's it for the presentation. And now we can address your questions and concerns.
Pizza, thank you very much. Thanks for the context. Really helpful. And yeah, guys, we are super excited about our latest developments and what's going on with the EQD side of things, specifically with our upcoming launch of the LSD portal for the Polkadot ecosystem. So again, I think liquid dot staking, specifically in the light of the current massive dot unlock, is a hot topic within the ecosystem. I recently participated in the Twitter space with the guys from with Alice and Bob and some guys from our sort of fellow projects from the ecosystem, like respectively Akala, Bifrost, who was there as well, Hydra DX, and many others. Like we discussed all the situation with dot staking. There was the guy from Clarity also highlighting some stuff going on in the background. So generally speaking, like the sentiment about liquid dot staking is really out there. And we think that our EQD initiative and basically positioning EQD as an interest-bearing stablecoin for the Polkadot ecosystem makes a lot of sense, and actually is quite meaningful for the current state of things. So we're really excited about that, and hopefully this will give our users and like the whole ecosystem pretty decent use case and pretty interesting sort of application for liquid stake derivatives that you can get from Polkadot. And this actually the list of assets that you can use for collateralizing and minting stablecoins is not limited just to dots and liquid dot wrappers. As Peter mentioned, there's a lot of different other assets available. Specifically, I would like to highlight that, with the further developments of other projects actually involving the liquid staking solutions for other tokens, like let's say Glimmer from Moonbeam. I know that Stellar Swap is working on some initiative in this field, and also there is a liquid staking available on the Astar parachain. So we eventually look forward to embracing these assets within our LSD hub as well. So there will be like a comprehensive solution. But obviously, we're not locked on the Polkadot ecosystem. We plan for expanding our EQD stablecoin as an interest-bearing stablecoin to other ecosystems as well. Like probably, I'm not in a position to highlight which specific ecosystem we will go for, but definitely we will go multi-chain and basically bring more value to other ecosystems too. Probably worth mentioning that we are already in talks with a few of them, and yeah, hopefully we can provide more details as we go. So without further ado, let's probably jump on the questionnaire. So again, I've seen questions that you guys put out there. All of them are really good. I know that you are kind of a little bit frustrating with what's going on with the ecosystem, with Equilibrium specifically. I know where you're coming from for sure. Obviously, like we as a parachain projects, we cannot overcome probably the whole bunch of problems that the ecosystem currently experiencing. But we're doing all our best to be well positioned in what's going on. We're kind of keeping our hands on the pulse of what's going on, what's the trends out there, and basically our LSD initiative hopefully underlines like our position and our feeling of what's going on right now. So let's go through your questions one by one. So Dave Clay is asking like two good questions. So where is Jinshir in Equilibrium subscan? I cannot find it or reach it no more. That is the first question. And the second one is when EQD listing. There is no liquidity for EQD in BeamSwap and ArtSwap, so EQD has no use cases right now. It's pointless to mint EQD right now since you can't actually swap very big slippage, not enough liquidity. Thanks. Cool. Dave, thank you very much for this question. So I will start with the first one. So we are aware of Subscan. Basically, currently, they have they have stopped this servicing Jinshir in Equilibrium at this point. So we are aware of this problem. And we currently in talks with, first of all, Parity to understand their position in terms of funding of the infrastructure for the Polkadot ecosystem. To be transparent, Subscan is charging quite substantial amount of money from Parachain projects every year. Like they have yearly sort of fee for maintaining their services. Respectively, we need to pay like at least can't remember the exact number, but it's like in the range of $20,000 every year for maintaining a parachain support. So we think that this is unfair because like in the most of the ecosystems ecosystem like browsing like block explorers are kind of free services. So at least projects, they don't need to pay anything for these services. We're frankly kind of a little bit struggling to understand why this situation is different on Polkadot, frankly. So we want to, find out like what we do next with that. And so basically keep up with us. We will announce something in the next couple of weeks, and hopefully we'll manage to get the services back for Equilibrium. So regarding the EQD listing, so here's actually a few things we currently hesitating with. To maintain decent liquidity depth on both BeamSwap and ArcSwap, we need to incentivize this liquidity. Of course, like this is how DeFi works. So we cannot expect decent liquidity depth if we just ask people to put liquidity into there. We, like ourselves, we're not liquidity providers. We're just a technology, a sort of service provider out there. Polkadot currently experiencing certain difficulties with liquidity provision overall. So there is no prominent liquidity providers because of the infrastructure hurdles. So we are in touch with major market makers, Wintermute, Jump Trading, many others. But frankly, like I could not, like CMS Holdings, by the way, they're our investors. They're on our cap table, but they cannot do anything about Polkadot because there is no infrastructure which maintains safety for funds provided by liquidity providers. For example, there is no custodians working with Polkadot. There are no hardware wallets which are properly integrated with Polkadot and Parachain projects specifically. Basically investors, like larger scale investors, they cannot do anything about liquidity provision on Polkadot right now. So I think this is the problem that definitely not the project, like a single project can solve. We cannot overcome the baby problems of the Polkadot ecosystem. But what we can do, we actually can refer to native Polkadot users and put out some liquidity incentives in the future. So this is something we are working on right now. And as I said in the course of the presentation, we're preparing some really exciting announcements for you guys. The announcements of the next steps of what's gonna happen in the next months and a half to drastically improve the situation with Equilibrium, EQG stablecoin, and other assets within the Equilibrium ecosystem. So this will be like a game changer. And we hope that thanks to that, we will improve, first of all, liquidity situation for trading venues where the EQD stablecoin is listed. And secondly, it will improve the situation with the overall like EQD supply out there. Bear with us. We will come up with the announcements really soon. And hopefully you'll find them really, really exciting. But again, all points are right. So literally there is not that much to do with EQD stablecoin right now. However, we set the grounds. This is like the obvious thing. So we have, as you mentioned, BeamSwap and ArcSwap liquidity pools available out there, which means that there is already like trading venues where you can do swaps between EQD and ecosystem assets. And another thing, we're currently working on the EQD listing on centralized exchanges. We have already one exchange committed, but we want to do that like simultaneously, like improve the liquidity situation, or at least like put out, incentives, and simultaneously launch the listing, and hopefully we'll also secure off-ramp and on-ramp solution for the EPD stablecoin as well. Okay, Dave, thank you very much. These points are all right, and actually they're super compelling, like what was being discussed during the presentation. Hey everyone, I wonder when will we get our DOT back for the first unlock batch? So I contributed to Astar via Equilibrium, and yesterday they were unlocked. I can't find any info about it from our side. Do we need to wait for January for these shares? This question comes from Nevermore. So I think we addressed this in the course of the presentation. Peter, do you want to reiterate what's going on here?
Yes, to reiterate, all of the dots have been returned to our multisig, and they still need to be returned to the sovereign account of our parachain. We will do that in the course of this week, and once we are ready for the interface where you need to hit one button and get your wrappers converted with 2 dots automatically, we will release that either by the end of this week or next week.
Amazing. I got some very personal suggestion and question from self-improvement, literally. Hello, everyone. My question is for Alex. I'm really impressed by all the developments. The only thing lacking in your leadership is to capitalize on the developments and take the right decisions on right time. For example, you have secured a deal to list EQD on major exchange listing. It's equally important. If it will give us a lot of exposure, you must capitalize all the hard work the team has put in the market. Condition is becoming better, and we shouldn't miss the next bull run in the next alt season. Thank you for the comments. Fair enough. The one thing I probably cannot comment on the market performance of the Equilibrium's assets, but yeah, you're totally right. So we're currently working on some improvement plan, which will change the game. So we'll tell you about that a bit later. When is DOT swap, and why doesn't the interest on asset lending grow according to liquidity availability? There is no liquidity and I still get nothing, but my assets are all borrowed. Dave Clay is asking. So Dave, here's the thing. You probably, like I suggest to learn a little bit more about the interest model at Equilibrium. So we actually don't rely on utilization of the assets. We have a risk-based model for interest rates. So despite your assets all being borrowed, apparently those ones who borrowed these assets actually have pretty safe user positions, and they don't pay much on the assets they have borrowed. Right. So in terms of DOT swap, we have covered, I guess, pretty much everything about that. By sources, it's possible to withdraw HDOT from Jinshira. Will you be promoting Jinshira further? What's the plan? Thanks. So let me touch on Jinshira promoting and the plan with Jinshira. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna come up with the comprehensive plan regarding drastic improvements of the situation with Equilibrium, which will include Jinshira improvements too. And Jinshira is a part of the plan for sure. So we will come up with this plan, hopefully in the coming, probably a couple of weeks. Working on that extensively right now. So please keep your eyes on the projects and keep your eyes on our announcements. And we'll let you know once we have more detailed information on that. Regarding HDOT withdrawal, Peter, can you share a little bit more about that?
I think the bridge to HECO is functioning or was functioning, and we had announcements that you can go ahead and do that. And you still haven't done that, please go ahead and do that. Yeah.
And actually, we had a plan to basically wind down Kiko bridge by the end of this month. So if you have not bridged your dot, you should do that ASAP. So please do that like in the coming days, today, tomorrow, whatever. So next week we will definitely wind down the bridge. That's for sure. And you won't be able to withdraw dot anymore. So please do that now. Do you plan to join other ecosystems like Astar LSD? It seems like Polkadot is dying. Thanks, Akir, for your straightforwardness. Yes, we have a plan to join other ecosystems. We are in talks with the few foundations. We want to make sure that we have, first of all, right positioning within these ecosystems. So, like, foundations become our best friends. Foundations put some efforts into our further project development and stuff. And actually the ecosystem has like skin in the game. So we're not like a lone wolves over there, but trying to build this everything together basically. So once we get this support, once we secure, this support and get understanding of how exactly these developments will be funded, how exactly these developments will be eventually exposed to the users of this ecosystem, then we're good to go. We'll keep you posted. Joshua is saying, thank you for your hard work and your efforts, team. Equilibrium totally deserves more liquidity and success future. Thank you, Joshua. Working on that. Bear with us. Is it mandatory to bridge my X dot to Equilibrium to be able to convert it back into dot? What if I keep it in Jinchira? No conversion possible in such case? Thanks. I guess you need to transfer all your X dot to Equilibrium through our bridge and do that ASAP. Also, the X dot conversion ratio should be 101. Can you confirm that? Yes, we can confirm that.
Yes.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, team. I would like to know, is there going to be a bridge letter to swap my ERC20 version of EQ tokens that I'm holding on my MetaMask wallet since Gates.io have paused the deposits and the conversion to a native token? I was told by the team to sell my tokens on MXC and buy native tokens from Gates. It's not the right solution. Lack of liquidity won't allow me to sell large amount of tokens without losing value. Please kindly make sure nobody loses its EQ tokens because all my friends and family members are holding over 70 million EQ tokens in ERC20. Maria Distillo. Maria, I think you need to reach out to our support team. I asked the team to drop the contact details to the chat. And apparently we need to consider this situation more closely because like we don't support ERC20 tokens or EQ tokens anymore, but probably we can find some solution to help you out. Hello team, question from our user. At the moment in lending pool, there is no available liquidity for most assets. And if there is no liquidity, why aren't the APRs charging for borrowers or lenders? So here's the thing, like interest models doesn't account for utilization. So we have a risk-based interest model. And if all the assets borrowed and the positions are safe and the underlying collateral is not that volatile, then APR can be pretty low. This is the specifics of the Equilibrium's design. This actually works for good for the most of use cases. Probably like lenders or liquidity providers might a little bit suffer from that, but still you can consider participating in insurer pool, for example, and there then you can basically earn the majority of interest rates. Any
Alex,
preparations for
Here
ahead.
I've shared a link to our docs where the exact mechanics is explained and all of the numbers are given there. So please go ahead and read, since it's the second time this question pops up. I guess people aren't aware of the mechanics, so please go ahead and study our doc. Yes.
So Maharana MHR asking, any preparations for the next bull run, making EQD the top stablecoin since 105% collateral to mint is a super deal. Perhaps you need more marketing. Maharana, thanks very much for these comments. So I would say until we are operating just on Polkadot, we're kind of stuck in the boundaries of the ecosystem, and the ecosystem is quite tiny. So it's quite easy to put out the words and spread the word across the ecosystem. So literally, it's not worth, spending too much money on marketing here. But once we get other ecosystem aligned, then we put a lot more efforts into marketing, like on the broader, in the broader perspective. So right now we have we're planning actually for quite a few campaigns with ecosystem partners, which will give Equilibrium and EQD specifically, and our LSD portal, which is important. The paramount, the prominent exposure, will be massive campaign rolled out really soon. And this is a part of our plan, of the improvement plan that I was talking about during today's community call. And definitely we will promote all the advantages of the stablecoin. For sure, we have a very unique design, which actually gives users the unique advantage against other decentralized stablecoin users and other models of decentralized stablecoins out there. For sure, it's the perfect tool if you consider that for different purposes like pyramiding or something. Like this is really convenient lending instrument in a way. But again, so we are putting this out there, and we're trying to find the right narrative how to communicate this, and hopefully we will be able to get more exposure on that front. But thanks for the comments. Another question, which are all pairs with EQD? Can you give it again? Happy to do so. So the first one is on our
Alex,
swap.
I have answered there in the comment, so should be okay. Yeah.
Oh, okay. But just for our listeners, for those who don't know, probably RSwap, it's EQD DOT and EQD Astar tokens. On BeamSwap, there is EQD to USDT, and on Equilibrium we have our own stable swap, which allows you to swap EQD for USDT. I know, we are aware of liquidity issues for these pairs. However, this is just the matter of the plan, how to improve liquidity depth in all these pairs, and there's something which we're gonna announce really soon. So definitely you will be good, I'm sure. The last question comes from Brad Andrews. Are rewards still being earned against XDOT in the insurance pool? Haven't received any in a few weeks. Peter, can you take this question?
Are rewards still being earned against XDOT in the insurance pool? I haven't received any in a few weeks. We will check it. Yeah, everything should work as intended. Probably I have to check the balances in CQ. Token dropped. In the token terms, you should receive a lot more, and probably the balances of the insurance palette are down. We'll check, and if that's the case, we will replenish them. Yeah.
Okay, so we have another 9 minutes left for our call. So I see here some comments in the chat, which are super helpful. Ginger actually coming up with some stuff regarding the block explorer. Instead of running one for 20K a year, They recommend to use the OpenSquare Networks state scan or deploying yourself or playing significantly less directly to OpenSquare. Yeah, so good comments. The one problem here that if you roll out our own solution, we need to maintain this. It's actually a little bit, effort consuming thing. So we definitely want to have like some third parties running this service for us instead of maintaining this ourselves. But yeah, we'll take this into consideration. Thanks very much. Regarding Jinshir, what's the future? Good question. Again, this is a part of our improvement plan, the plan of making EQD and equilibrium great again, and we will come up with something. Okay, I cannot comment on the token price, unfortunately, but otherwise we good. Guys, any more questions? If you don't have any, we will start wrapping up for today. Anything else? Okay, apparently that's it. Yes, look, I think this was a very productive community call. Again, we do this on the monthly basis. The next one will be in November. So hopefully by that time, we'll have a bunch of new and interesting announcements for you. To sum up what's been told during today's call, like first of all, LSD Hub is going live very, 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 very soon. And I think this is like a flagship product, which will actually drive the whole Equilibrium ecosystem fast forward. I think this is something pretty much aligning with the current agenda within the Polkadot ecosystem. Liquid staking is really big thing right now. And definitely EQD can bring a lot of value. You can think of it as a Libra of the Polkadot ecosystem, like the first effectively interest-bearing stablecoin. We might potentially improve even the design of that to make it this interest-bearing for the usage of EQD even more effective. So yeah, stay with us. Thank you very much for your support. Probably the most exciting thing which is coming up in the next few weeks is our improvement plan. So our improvement plan is on its way. So we hopefully will be able to share more details on that in the next couple of weeks. And again, from our perspective, it's something that will drastically change the situation with our product line, with the ecosystem, liquidity in trading pairs. Help Jinshira token holders and Jinshira users to improve their positions, and yeah, hopefully this plan will basically solve all the current problems that we face right now. So yes, and again, thank you very much for showing up on this community call. Thank you very much for your questions. I think we addressed pretty much all of them. Hopefully you enjoyed the conversation, and yes, we wish you all the best. And the last thing here is the question from Brett Andrews, like the last one we take. Will users be able to mint EQD against CDOT that is not yet redeemable? You already can do that. So you can use your CDOT to mint stablecoins against that. We support CDOT as collateral. I mean, all of CDOT versions of all of it. Are rewards still being earned against XDOT in the insurance pool? I haven't received any. Okay, so we addressed that. I think that's pretty much it. Guys, again, thank you very much for attending. Thanks very much for supporting us long term. Really appreciate it. Without further ado, saying goodbye and until the next call, which will happen in November. Till soon.
Yep. Thank you very much. Have a nice day, guys. Bye-bye.